just take it relatively gentle. My God. FE450 2024. This is honestly unbelievable to me. I have wanted to buy one of these brand new since I was probably about 16. We are blessed with some beautiful weather at the beginning of March. All throughout the day we're looking about 16, 17 degrees, which is unbelievable. This weekend I'm going to put some real hours on this thing. If first impressions are anything to go off of, it is perfect. It is exactly what I wanted out of a bike. Did the first hour, up and down the gears, you know, engine brake, acceleration, engine brake, acceleration, get a bit of pressure behind the rings. First oil change at 1 hour, and then just take it relatively gentle up to about 10 hours. Like, that's how I've always done it. See, I'm not going to be babying it like a soft braking, but I'm also not going to be sitting on the limiter doing burnouts in the first 10 hours. Now we're beyond that hour mark, I can really start putting some time on it, and initial impressions are, my God, it is everything I wanted out of that bike 2 years ago. It is aggressive when you want it to be, and it is smooth when you want it to be. This map switch, I had one of these on my 2018 FE450, and it never made that much of a difference, but on this bike it makes a massive difference. So this green map here that I'm in now has the bike feeling nearly like a 701, to be honest with you. On and off the throttle, there's none of that like you get on a lot of 450s. It is lovely and smooth, so you could just cruise about kind of how I'm doing now. The only thing you really notice different from the 701, there's a little bit more vibration up through the handlebars. If it weren't for the seat being so narrow and cutting off the blood to my arse and legs, I could probably ride this thing all day. But then you've got this white map. Once you turn this white map on, you almost get a completely different bike. All of a sudden that low down throttle response, it's no longer smooth, it's no longer tame, and it just feels like it wants to fucking kill you. It makes this thing feel like a completely different bike. The biggest difference I can notice is all in the low end. When you're just cruising around on that green map, it's pretty tame. Like, it's not very powerful, it's not very get up and go until you get into the high revs, but no matter what with this one, any revs you can just be cruising along like this and it just wants to fucking go. I actually rode it in this white map the first time I rode the bike, thinking that was the smooth map, thinking, oh, this isn't really any better than the WR. This is quite aggressive. Alright, there's oil all over the road there. So I want to circle back to the reason I actually bought this. So I knew the WR was not going to be the bike for me. If you guys have known me for a long time, you'll know back in the day when I had my Grom and I was maybe 18, 19, I used to go and do these stupidest journeys on it. I would just get on that bike with a backpack full of shit and ride some ridiculous places. I rode that Grom to Sweden from London. It took me 2 days, riding about 15, 16 hours a day. I would stop to sleep and get back on the road. I rode that same Grom, Land's End to John O'Groats, which is pretty much the longest ride you can do in the UK. I also rode from London to Paris on it with a passenger. I've always loved these long, ridiculous journeys. But since I got into the Supermotos, I've always just thought these bikes can't do that. Well, to my surprise, it turns out they are. So I came across a small little niche community of adventure riders that don't go out and buy their big GS1200 or a T7. They use these. The amount of information that's out there on this platform, the EXC FE platform, is unbelievable. I'm going to give a big shout out to a company called Takomoto, who have videos on the most intricate details about converting these bikes for adventure use, and they have so many case studies of guys that have used these bikes to ride around the whole world. People have ridden around the world on EXC FEs. You would never think it. Most people think 450, 500, I've got to do piston change every 100 hours, oil changes every 10 hours. No, that's not the case. They've done it. They've sent bikes around the world. They've done oil analysis. They know how many hours you can run on an oil change. They've got engine cases to increase the oil capacity. They've got big tanks, suspension changes. They've got everything you could dream of to turn these bikes into ADV machines. As you can imagine, that has lit a little light bulb up in my head of a dream that I had back when I was 18, 19, doing those stupid journeys on that Grom. And that dream is that I want to ride around the world. The idea of an enduro bike converted to do ADV is so appealing to me because these bikes are so light. When you've got something like a BMW GS, you're going to struggle getting that down certain lanes, but this bike here, you could go anywhere with it. These things have always been amazing to me because there's so many different bikes in one. You've got a Supermoto, a road bike, a track bike, a motocross bike, an enduro bike, and now an ADV bike. You could technically ride this bike around the world. After discovering all this information, I thought, right, let's see what I can do with the WR, and the options are so limited. Those bikes are not homologated in most of the world, so the only guys really making stuff is Australians, and even then the options are limited. So for what I want to do and for what I want out of a bike, this bike makes so much more sense to me than the WR. God, this thing sounds good, doesn't it? The majority of the riding that I do is going to still be Supermoto, but I definitely want to incorporate a lot more of that, just to go and dip my toes in the water, to sort of build up to a bigger trip. Hopefully these tyres are still warm, otherwise I'm going straight off the fucking road, boys! I used to ride when I was 16, my way home from school every day down here. There's going to be a whole variety of content, really. When we go out to Sweden, there's going to be a lot of vlogs from that. I love making videos, I love editing through stuff. Vlogs, like videos in the garage, motor vlogs, kind of like this one, just going out chatting shit. I originally wanted to make like informative content, but when we started filming the bike build and I'm standing there, these are my wheels, this is why I picked them. It's so boring, isn't it? I start filming shit like that, and then we just start fucking about. It never stays serious. Oh, there's a dog in the back of that car. Do you see him? Little golden. JNS Uckfield is down here. I could stop in there. And try on some helmets. Yeah, fuck it. I think I will stop in there. We'll go have a look at some helmets. Did not get stolen. Please be here when I get back. Yeah, that quick little stop off was not so quick. I've been in there about an hour and a half and I just spent 600 quid. I only went in there to try on and see which size I need to get. I didn't really want to buy one today, but why not? My aim with YouTube, really, I'd love to be able to post a video every week. With all the trips coming up, footage is just going to stack up. I don't think it'll be too much of a problem trying to get a video out every week. I'm really looking forward to spending a lot more time making content this year. I'll leave it at that for today. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of my ride with this beautiful sunset. If you watched this all the way to the end and enjoyed me yapping, thank you very much. Let me know what I can change to be better, because I have literally no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Bye!